What's up? What's up? What's up on my X and Halo fans? Super exciting week. Obviously, we've had. This is on my X episode number 46. So stoked to bring you this content. I'm joined by my boy Faisal Khan, aka Goofy. Goof, how you feeling, brother?
What's going on, everyone? On my X 46 weeks, 46 episodes, and today's episode might actually be one of the most exciting ones, as obviously, like Justin said, we have a lot of fun stuff to talk about with Halo Infinite's trailer release at E3 and some of the multiplayer overview. So super excited to get into it. But yeah, man, good week. Playoffs are still going strong. Seen Kawhi Leonard put the hurting on the Utah Jazz.
I think that's Pete putting the hurt on him.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I saw a crazy monster jam that Kawhi had on Bleacher Report right now. So basketball is always exciting, and yeah, just ready to start the episode.
Heck yeah. And, we're obviously going to jump into Halo stuff and whatnot, but Wes Price, Clutch, the champ. I want to know how you're doing, man. How's life been? How's your weekend?
Weekend was good. Obviously, the E3 Taylor launch, being a part of my first go-around, or I guess it's my second go-around. It's just exciting times to be a Halo fan, to be a part of it, and put just some of the content that all the hardworking people for the studio have kind of put out there. Super exciting stuff, a lot of positivity, and you love to see that stuff. So to Faisal's point, been watching a lot of basketball, been playing a lot of Valorant. Outside of that, your boy's getting good. I'm top like 1,100 in the country, or in like the region.
Damn.
So yeah,
you do a lot of solo games, right? Or do you usually play with a
solo
squad?
queue. I went on a 9-game win streak yesterday, solo queuing. So your boy, one of the meanest sages in North America, I like to call myself, and we're getting better every day. So Hunter, Baby J, I'm coming for your throat. It might take a little bit more time because he's pretty nasty, but just overall, just enjoying like the mouse keyboard experience and the grind and getting better at something. So,
And the fact that you play Sage too, represent like every team needs to have a good Sage. So holding down the heels, taking care of the boys, resin folks. I like that.
What I watched, if anybody knows Ethan, he's like a CS player that transferred over and now he plays for 100 Thieves. Guy's cold as hell. I watched him. I stopped playing Sage and started playing Duelist, and then I watched like him give an interview, or maybe it was on a stream, and he said like the coldest line that always stuck with me. He goes, "Why would I play a Duelist or like someone that like doesn't really contribute abilities to help the team when I can get my kills and play a champ that can help the team and like help us win the game?" I was like, "Click heads. Check. Get ready. Check." So yeah, that's always like the mindset. So it's kind of like what was my mindset in Halo is kind of shifted the same thing. It's like I want to do the most that is the best play that's most beneficial to the team. I think like obviously not to get on a Valorant rant, but Sage gives that opportunity. So
I was gonna say, where's main Slayer Wes at? But you just said basically you can do that and get the heals at the same time.
I'm still clicking heads. No matter what. My reticle is the same no matter what champ I play.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, for me, I know nobody asked, but weekend was
How
good.
was your week, Justin?
It was good. I'm gonna show you a little sunburn action there. If you can see that line,
Jesus.
I'm like went surfing on Sunday. Haven't been out in a while, so or Saturday. And got cooked. My brother-in-law asked me, he was like, "Hey, you want some sunscreen?" I was like, "No, man, I got melanin. I'll be fine." Came home so red, so cooked, but good to get out there on the water, get out in the waves. My whole body, man, it's been sore. So glad the season's starting back up, though. Got a Costa Rica trip coming up in July, and I was like, I need to get back in like some sort of surfing shape, form for that trip. That'll be a lot of fun. So weekend was good. My birthday's actually this week, so
Hell yeah.
fun. Yeah, so Thursday, turning 30. Crossing
Nice,
over,
man.
Crossing over the next
happy
level.
early birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Appreciate y'all. So
JJX entering his 30s. Oh man.
It's all downhill from here, let me tell you. You need shoulders start clicking every time you move them. It's rough stuff.
I was gonna say I've been running, my knees are creaking, my joints are aching. I'm like, dang, this is not what I'm used to.
The headline starts going, it's brutal out here.
That's what freaks me out is like the thought of that. I don't know, man.
It becomes a reality.
Got that coming up, so I'll probably do the streamer thing and stream on my birthday, so exciting. But Saturday we're gonna do a lake day and that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. we were chatting about this episode. It's a super tricky situation. Obviously, we have the unique pleasure and honor of having a 343, employee, kind of a big deal on our show with Wes. And so we wanted to, really be careful with the things that we cover and things that we say. And obviously, lots of NDAs, lots of security when it comes to things like Halo Infinite that have been top secret, stuff that we're now barely seeing for the first time. That's not the case for Wes, obviously. So we really wanted to go through some of these trailers and break down gameplay. But in order to do that, in a way that wouldn't be awkward for Wes, we decided that for this episode, and depending on different things in the future, but we're probably going to do it as a duo. Myself and Faisal are going to be covering a lot of the Halo Infinite video stuff and breaking it down. And, we were going to start the show with just the two of us, but we were like, dude, that ain't right, man. We were sitting here, Faisal and I were both like sad boys. We're like, dude, Wes isn't here. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, we're just like, this sucks. Like, we've never done an episode without Wes, right? He's just as much on my X as the two of us are. So we had to have him on. And Wes, I'm thankful that you guys are, the response has been awesome. It's cool to see so many people, just positive overall. Like, I've seen a lot of mixed things in the past. The difference of the reaction this year to the last year's E3 has been really cool. And so props to you and the team, man. I wanted to let you go ahead and have the floor if you have any closing thoughts for yourself before we send you on your way back to the Valorant Battlegrounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Like, this is like such a important piece of content that I want on my X to discuss. I want people to have this kind of content available to them, and to get those thoughts down and to be excited and talk about all the dynamics that we were able to see in the trailer. And unfortunately, the job I've taken, the path that I've gone down kind of stops me from being able to be a part of those conversations. So it definitely sucks to not be able to sit here and break stuff down and go crazy over some stuff and be a part of that excitement. But like, just know to all the fans out there that love the trio,
it ain't going nowhere.
It's because it's for the best, because like, just know that like, I'm here to try and make Halo as great as possible, and with that, you got to swallow some pills, and unfortunately these opportunities are one of those pills you kind of got to swallow, right? So appreciate everybody that continues to support, not just me, but on my X and everything. I hope you guys will crush the episode. You guys will break down the trailer. Can't wait to hear all your thoughts and what you think is something that might not be true, and what your thoughts are on some stuff. So it's a pleasure to see all that stuff, because having that inside view, you're always like in the know of all the features and elements. So have fun with the future of the future of this episode. And if they don't say it at the end, I want to hear all your comments and whatnot. I love reading the comments on the dynamics and the elements that are in that trailer, and that have been shown and released to the public. So it's like super exciting for me to be on the inside and read all of your opinions. So make sure in the comments you say all sorts of thoughts on all the dynamics that these guys are about to break down. But on that note, I'm going to head out. You guys have a good night and enjoy the show.
Appreciate you, bro. Take care, Wes.
Thank you, Wes.
Peace out, boys.
Peace, Wes. And yeah, just to kind of pick it up on that note, like Wes and Justin summed it up well. We wanted to make sure we could have kind of a free-flowing conversation, and an option was available to kind of just have Wes, wait it out on the corner screen, and it just wasn't. It didn't seem like it would make. It wouldn't let the conversation flow too naturally. So obviously for Wes and for just the Halo community, or the Halo game in general, making sure we're not crossing over any boundaries that we can't, we decided to make sure we're doing this episode and future episodes involving Halo Infinite news, directly like discussing gameplay, directly discussing news. We'll try to do those episodes with guests, or between me and Justin breaking down the gameplay, and then depending on the week, we'll have like our historical episodes where we're covering different topics. So we'll get more into that, as the weeks go on. But of course, Wes is going to be still involved, still just as much a part of the show as me or Justin. It's just for certain episodes, we got to be careful with how we're moving forward. So Justin, I don't want to ramble on it too much, but why don't you go ahead and get us kicked off with this trailer, man? E3 had me hyped.
Yeah, dude, E3 was a good time. Stoked that with all the stuff that we got to see so far. I wanted to let our audio podcast listeners know that we will be breaking down the trailers video-wise, so that might be something you want to check out our YouTube version of these episodes to see for yourself. With that being said, we're going to jump right into the first multiplayer reveal trailer. I told Faisal we'll just go through this thing with a fine-tooth comb, man. I got it set to 4K. We'll run it at half speed, and we'll just kind of check things out. Give you guys our thoughts and feedback.
Hopefully it'll be good in the little corner screen. We were considering making it full screen, but I kind of want to leave our faces here so y'all can see us reacting. We'll see.
Yeah. Let me know. We can change it if we need to change it up. But here we go. We're gonna jump right into the Halo Infinite multiplayer trailer. That shotgun is sick, bro.
Definitely. We'll talk about it more as we see some of the specifics. I know a big talking point was that battle rifle scope, how it looked a certain way on the trailer for E3, and then it looked different in that YouTube multiplayer overview. So that'll be an interesting kind of discussion to have in terms of, was that just an older version of the scope, or are there different scope options for the BR or other weapons? That would be, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's
you're good. One of the things I did notice that on the point of scopes that I really liked is how small they are. Like when you look at them, the scope reticle is like really precise in the middle of your screen. Like I think about
make it full screen real quick. I don't know if you have a scene on it.
I do.
I am interested to.
Oh, not that one. Hang on, sorry. Let me grab this here.
Hey, we're just figuring it out on the go, baby.
Yeah, we're figuring out.
And now the overlay. God.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll get rid of
boy.
it.
See, Wes takes an episode off and it's over for us.
Anyways, there it is on the full screen. We'll just leave it full screen while we go through it for now.
Okay.
The scopes, like how small they are, I really enjoyed that. The other thing that sticks out that's different, Faisal, I wanted to get your opinion on this, is the outlines, right? So your Spartans aren't just red or blue anymore based on your team. You actually get to rock your own color, your custom color, but you will be outlined red or blue, whether or not you're friendly or enemy. What did you think of that? Did you notice that the first time you watched it?
Honestly, that's a great observation. So explain it again.
So like typically in Halo games, it's red versus blue, the teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you still have teams now, but you actually get to rock your custom color. So like this guy's gray, this guy's pink. They're both red teams, so they have like this red outline around them.
Definitely. No. I'd imagine, you can rock custom. I know a lot of it, their release was detailing customizability and how, there's going to be a battle pass and all kinds of stuff. So I think that kind of incentivizes to have unique, personal Spartans, but still, Halo's always been a classic red versus blue. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's a big part of Halo's game and culture. So it's a little, it's going to be interesting not having that. But I think it's going to be awesome for just in terms of growing the game and incentivizing customizability on your Spartans.
And it's cool to see them trying different things, right? It's like, I think with Halo 5, they kind of went a little overboard on just like throwing everything out there and all these different crazy features. But here it seems really tasteful. I mean, that's cool looking, and it's like, it allows me to finally have my custom color and teams and, that kind of stuff. Here he shoots out this little sensor, which is like another piece of equipment. So around the map, there's like different equipment pickups. Like people thought originally, like, hey, is everybody going to be grapple hooking everywhere? But no, it's kind of like they're almost like power weapons,
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's cool. So right here, you see him. He jumps down. He grabs the grapple, and it's cool. One of the things I noticed,
he looks up in the sky with it.
This is L-Town's POV. It's like Mick when someone at the pro team.
I saw Best Man on Twitter saying, I know that's an Ares Carries POV.
One of the things I like is, obviously it shows you that the grapple is a pickup. He did need to go get it first. And I like that the screen kind of flashed to let him know that he got it. Give him that feedback, right? So it flashes there, he gets that feedback, and then, this clip is just sick, dude. Can you imagine the clip potential in this game, Faisal, with like these abilities and the things you're gonna see people posting?
And I love that little backflip that Spartan did when he no-scopes him. Like, look at him right now. His outline is literally, his feet are in the air.
Yeah, so, his head is where his feet were, basically.
Dude, that's one of my favorite things in Halo is when and it's like different. The animations for when you take down a Spartan are always different, but when you get that no-scope backflip, that's always one of the most satisfying. So the fact that this clip had that, I was like, oh my God.
I mean, that's been a thing since Halo 2, and it's like, it never gets old, right? Seeing someone do a backflip when you hit the headshot. I also love how like the guns and stuff have all this grit on them. They don't look as plasticky as they did last year.
It does look kind of like, I was reading people's what they were saying, and they're like, oh, it looked kind of like a Halo Reach, like a Halo Reach / Halo 4 look to it. Do you see any validity in that, or do you kind of see uniqueness in terms of like what you've seen in a Halo in terms of graphics?
I definitely see why people compare it to Reach. The thing with me, though, that sets this apart that I enjoy is this is a lot more colorful than Reach. Reach was a lot of gray, a lot of like drab colors because it was supposed to be a more depressing kind of game based on the setting. I get it with like the grit on everything. Everything is rusted. Everything is chipped away, which I really like. So that's probably where the Reach comparison comes from. This feels like, I don't know, man. This feels like a middle ground between, you know, Halo 3 and kind of Halo 4, Halo 5 to me, you know, where it's a little bit pulled back from Halo 5 in terms of all the abilities and whatnot. It's a little bit more than Halo 3, but it still has equipment, things like that. So check out this gun, though, dude. This thing is sick, man. I don't know what this is called. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the scatter shot in terms of like it banks and homes. But look at the crosshair here, right? It's like horizontal, and he shoots and he misses, and then he changes it. Like right here, now it's vertical. He shifts it, so he like turns it to get a better angle. Cool. That's just sick, man. And then he obviously hits the bank shot. It's like a scatter shot on crack, though. That thing just.
I wonder if there's gonna, and we'll see how crucial that even ended up being. But I wonder if like either a vertical or horizontal, one of them's gonna be a lot more useful than the other. You know? Like,
yeah. Like I'm trying to think of what a comparison would be in Halo. Like a silly one would be like the pea shooter, like how some people like to pew it and some people like to charge it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Like you would think if you make it vertical, it would be better because if you would hit all your shots on the Spartan. Like maybe if you make it horizontal, then you have more room for error when you shoot them. I don't know.
That is true. That is true. You know yeah, because he does miss when he had it horizontal and he changes it to vertical, right? Yeah. Because it's spread farther wide.
Exactly. So for example, if someone's standing in front of you and you just want to kind of like end their weak, maybe you keep it horizontal. But if they're full shields and you're trying to one tap them, maybe it's like a vertical. You got to hit all your shots type of deal, you know?
Yeah. I do like that. That is an interesting take, though. I didn't even think of that.
You know what I'm saying? Because all the bullets would hit.
Yeah, the meta's going to evolve, right? Like there's going to be kind of the way the pros use it. It's going to, and it's going to kind of push through. So it'd be interesting to see. It does make sense that you would want it to be vertical because then more of your spread would be hitting the Spartans. Hopping over this map, this is another thing that, like I was saying, like everything is cracked, chipped. I love that, dude. Yeah, color, right?
I guess it's his color. It's just white and gray. But another thing. Go ahead. I'm going off of a lot of like tweets I was seeing from people I follow. I saw T Squared actually. He was giving some of his thoughts, and he did. He's giving a lot of good, positive feedback on what he was seeing, and he did say one thing I noticed, and I hope. As we get more information, we'll see it differently. But he did mention the fact that some of the maps that we were seeing on the trailer looked to be a little bit dull, and he wanted more like Heretic or more bubbly, almost more vibrant color maps. So I see some validity in that. I like when maps are more. They're not just all gray and white and black. I like to see some color.
But even here, though, it's like you got this pretty skybox, this blue. You got the mountains here, and then it's not just like one tone gray. It's like there's some white, some
you're
black.
Right.
There's the
this
grass.
This one is good. This one's
even
good.
Here, like the cover is red. So there is some color sprinkled in there. This clip is pretty dope. I mean, this guy comes sprinting around the corner with the hammer. So this is where a little bit of the controversy started coming in. I saw, and not even for what you're thinking, but that is coming as well. But I saw a couple people not too sure how they felt about how bright the shields kind of flash when they get popped. Like if you look at that right there.
Oh wow.
That's kind of insane. But at the same time, it's only a split second. But
I feel like even in Halo 3, like when there's a lot of, I see what you're saying. There's like a lot of stuff that happens in your screen as you swing that hammer.
Yeah, like anytime someone dies, I noticed like, I'll show you another example of this. Anytime someone dies, it's kind of like right here when this guy gets no-scoped. It's like an explosion of the shields and color, and people are saying like, I wonder if that'll get in the way of seeing. For me personally, I don't really think so because it happens so fast, but it is something worth bringing up that folks are a little concerned about. Do you have like Do you have any specific thoughts on that, or you just kind of think whatever? Part of the game?
No, I mean, I was gonna say at the start of it, where I feel like even in Halo 3, like whenever like shields break on a Spartan, or if they get taken out, I think if you stop or pause and play, a crazy like an explosion or a hammer swing in any, I don't know, I don't really have that much of a opinion on that. I think it's something small.
Yeah, it's something small, and like, dude, in real time. In my
played
opinion,
in real time.
In real time, you really don't notice it. I'll show you right now. It's kind of a quick flash. You know what I mean?
I do see. Yeah, but it is a noticeable thing, though. I see what you're saying.
It is one thing where it's like, that's all being tweaked and whatever. But this is like coming up right here is one of my favorite things that we see in the trailer. This guy tries to combo him and he hits him with this. It's called the repulsor. It's one of the equipment pickups. Deflects it back, recombos himself. Again, we have the yellow, and then he just pulls out the VR for the clean pick. Faisal, can you imagine like the outplay potential for a piece of gear like that?
Imagine like a 49-49, and you green gun someone, he counters it and kills. Oh my god, that would be crazy.
Well, the thing about this repulsor, they talked about it in the blog, and we see it in the other trailer when we get to that, is like. It can deflect, obviously it deflects projectiles like we see here where he deflects the plasma pistol. It also, you can aim it at the ground and it knocks you up. Like when he does that animation, it like can boost you up in the air. There's just a lot of, the thing I like with a lot of these equipment pieces is that there just seems to be a lot of like really cool potential for outplays, for skillful, like if someone's trying to rocket you, he doesn't know you have that, you pull that out the last second, you deflect this rocket and then make a play on him. I think it's like, it's going to create a lot of those main stage chaotic moments, like back in the day it was reserved for like a crazy quick scope or like a sick out BR, but now you might have a main stage play where someone just gets absolutely embarrassed by someone making a clutch play with the repulsor or whatever. So I think it's pretty sick, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then obviously the BR, there's a little bit of controversy about this crosshair, but they did confirm that this is an old crosshair. How did you feel? Did you see that? Did you think like, hey, I'm not sure how I feel about that? Did you have a take on it, or were you just kind of like, whatever happens, I'm just going to shoot people in the face?
Yeah, I tend to side on that side of the fence more so with these kind of changes, especially like aesthetics to cursors. As long as the gun is still true to the battle rifle of Halo's past, like that typical. Which I don't know if we've seen them do like a definitive 4-shot in any of these videos. But yeah, they threw me off. I'm not gonna lie, but it made me excited that they're we're showing the battle rifle and. I will say I like the newer one, the one in the latest update more than this one. This just looked like it was missing something. What do you think?
I liked this one for the fact that it has a small center dot, which means it's really precise. The traditional BR reticle, which we'll get to later, is a little bit more open in the center. And so for me, I always like to have a really distinct dot if possible. So, but at the end of the day, like I'm used to.
Oh, whatever, so you almost like this one. You like this one more.
I like this one more because I thought, I don't know if you noticed this, like you play a lot of MCC. I've played a lot of MCC. On MCC, the wider you go with your FOV and the smaller the Spartans get, it becomes harder to kind of track them in the middle of the crosshair because it's kind of this big open space. Whereas this one has a really small point in the center, so you can kind of always know where your bullets are going. So I liked that, but they did say this was an older one, and they are leaning more towards the newer, like the normal BR reticle that you see in the next video. So sick though. I mean, the gun. I mean, the fact that using the classic BR, his back is awesome. This guy's grappling through the air and just gets stuck, which is just sick, dude. Just sick plays, and then this is the AI they were talking about. It's like a little companion that helps you with like objectives and talks to you through the game. But here's something really cool. So here he takes this guy down, grapples this gun to himself, and then Spike launches this hog with this sick brute power weapon, and then grapples himself into the vehicle and takes him down. So like that says obviously the equipment that you use in the game will have multiple uses because we just saw him use it twice there. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Reach. You remember like what was it, the settings before No Bloom No Sprint, where you could there was like an evade on the map, and like when you picked it up you could use it as many times as you want until you died. I think that's kind of how I'm interpreting the equipment to work, where it's kind of like a power up on the map. So that Definitely. Way, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead, rewind the gameplay until where he was using the grapple. I want to see. I want to pay a little bit of attention to
So
Because
here's where
to
he
your
first-
point, yeah, in Halo Reach, that's a good point. Where in the beginning you would pick up these perks or whatever you want to call them.
They were like on
So
the map, you know. They were littered,
Yeah.
littered around the map. Hmm.
that is, yeah. So he uses it, gets a kill.
And then uses it again.
Oh yeah. I wonder if what I do like, I never mind this kind of stuff as far as like adding things to Halo. I just like customizability, right? I like options because even with Halo and again I'm Halo 3 being the game that kind of got me into everything. I liked how the competitive settings were, and every Halo, not just Halo 3, even in Halo 5, we kind of learned our lesson a little bit with those ARs and competitive. Finally we took out the ARs and some of the game modes. We're doing breakout and all that stuff. So I think it's having customizability and having options is so important, especially when you're trying to make a game an esport title and make it competitive. With that being said, you want to, there's a fine line between changing it too much. You want it to be a good game out the box, but having that kind of stuff, the grapple, the repulsor, all that, I think it's awesome and it's cool and it brings in new audiences, but customizability is key.
Yeah, and I think ideally you don't want it to feel like you're playing two different games, right? Like you want your competitive settings to be kind of close to what out the box was, so that when people jump into social, it's almost like a training ground for them to eventually transition into more competitive
now we
stuff.
have bots, so
yeah, true, which we get to. Faisal, I did want to show you this next part. It's actually pretty sick. So like during this whole section, it's kind of BTB, and most people might gloss over a lot of these clips because they're quick, but this is actually a really, really cool detail here. In this clip here, I want you guys to pay attention to the sniper, right? He's up here on this ridge, ready to pick these guys off. One of the things I notice, you can tell right now he's not zoomed in because as soon as he zooms in, check this out in slow motion, boom, it becomes a glare on the screen, like so you can see where the snipers are. You know, like in Warzone, Faisal, where like they have that glint. Yeah, they have the light. That it's like they have that feature now where if you're a sniper in Halo, the second you zoom in, you're not really safe anymore. If you're like trying to play campy, I think it's interesting how you can clearly see when he starts zooming in, and then the sniper bullet. The other thing to notice in that clip is the bullet when it comes out isn't just like a hit scan. It's not just instant. You can actually watch the bullet travel through the air right there, and it makes me think like, hey, maybe like for certain weapons like the sniper, your bullet has a travel time, things like that. But it is cool to see features like this where, because I mean, dude, sniping, we talk about all the time. Sniping in MCC is kind of like so easy at this point, right? And so anything you can do to kind of help the person that's trying to take down that sniper, if it's going to be a game where sniping is kind of easy, I think is probably a good move. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of difficult snipers in Halo games. So adding a skill gap to a weapon like the snipers, but you have to be careful because the sniper brings so many amazing moments to Halo, whether it's casual or competitive, and you want to make sure it's still usable and doesn't lose its
luster.
Yeah, it's whatever the word is, it's glory, I guess. So yeah, that is interesting though. I know, and obviously in Warzone, I've been playing a lot of Warzone in my spare time these days, and yeah, that's something that they have on their snipers is whenever you zoom in, it'll indicate to your opponent, a bit of a light. So yeah, that's a good catch there.
Yeah. And here's that brute gun again, which is interesting. It's kind of like it's anti-vehicle. We saw him knock the hog over with it earlier.
Fuel rod cannon,
but it's kind of like a sniper too. Like he like snipes that guy with it. It's like it shoots spikes really fast, and it looks like it's a one shot, but it's a projectile, right? It has a travel time, so you can see it kind of move across the screen. So interesting, cool to see.
I got deleted.
Yeah. I will say though, Faisal, this part has me a little nervous. Do you remember Halo 5 V1, the storm rifle, and how there were like multiple storm rifles on Empire, just like how broken that gun was? Well,
yeah.
In this game, the storm rifle is a burst weapon, and in this next clip, he one bursts this guy and then beats him down, which is like, look, one burst pops his shields and then just beats him down. It's like, oh crap! I hope the gun is not just insanely
that almost
powerful
looked
again.
like a shotgun right there.
Yeah,
like a shotgun that traces. Like the bullets followed him.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I hope that the storm rifle is not broken again, but I guess we'll see. But dude, you can literally pause this stuff anywhere, and it just looks so good.
That's so badass.
like the grit, the dirt on the armor, the scratches, like the way it just looks great. I mean, if you compare this to last year's E3 trailer, it's a night and day difference. You know, it's like they stepped up the visual game a ton. So love seeing that. Let's continue moving on here. Guy jumps in the Banshee. Basil, you a big Banshee guy? Have you ever got on a Terror in a Banshee before?
Yeah, shoot, my heyday. I would run some Terror in the big team battle. I've actually always enjoyed big team battle whenever I'm casually playing with friends or family. It's probably one of my favorite game modes in Halo. So, Wraiths, Banshees, Warthogs, Ghosts. I love all that stuff.
Jumping with some homies, in the Warthog, just kind of vibing.
Yeah, and even back, ranked BTB was always any ranked playlist will be sweaty, but ranked BTB or competitive BTB gets crazy as well. Yeah. So it's
no doubt there. I do want to bring this flag up. It's pretty cool to see the flag kind of has an emblem on it. It's no longer like a piece of cloth, but it's kind of a hologram. How sick would it be like in a tournament if these flags were, the team orgs for the images, or like the base, like you see Cloud9's logo here on the flag and in the back of the base? I think this type of customization opens up a lot of doors for some some cool little features. Like in the CDL, they have, obviously the pro teams have their own outfits, like Dallas Empire has their outfit, and you see it in game and stuff. So I think in game implementation for orgs and teams could be really cool moving forward. With these
just ties back to being able to customize different things in the game. I mean, that's taking it up a notch. If you could do stuff like that, we seen weapon skins in Halo 5, which was so new to the Halo scene. Bringing in Optic Gaming weapon skins and CLG, all these cool, amazing weapon skins. It's an interesting thought to throw around the idea of them implementing the logos or colors in different ways in the game. That would be really cool.
This next part's a little controversial. Basil, is this guy sprinting with the flag? He just kind of
sprinting with the flag in Halo. What? No. Yeah, that got a big a conversation going in the community. You saw he didn't juggle the flag, even though they've never really like advertise in any Halo. I don't remember seeing them advertise them juggling the flag in like a trailer for the game, but people kind of just do it. It's a very Halo thing, but it almost seems like they never advertise it as it being a Halo thing. So I'd imagine even if you can sprint with it, you would still juggle it.
Dang, so sprint and juggle, throw,
dude. Like, I don't know, but we'll see. Again, I'm not sure if that'll be something that's you could turn on or off, and something as simple as a setting. When you press start, you go to your general settings and flag carrier sprint on off. I don't know if it's something as simple as that, or maybe in big team battle it makes sense, but maybe in like a 4v4 on a small map it doesn't make that much sense, right? So
or maybe it's limited. I'm sure there's a way to balance it.
Hopefully it's something like and again, I think just going based of your tweet, Justin, that you made earlier, where like you were praising some of the stuff that the game didn't show, like no thruster, no this, no that. Us being people who tend to like the classic style Halo a little bit more. Not to say we don't enjoy the advanced mechanics. In fact, I think we find a lot of joy in watching that and casting that and playing in it as well. But I think as far as sprinting with the flag, that would be a little bit chaotic, and especially in 4v4 competitive, right?
I think the way I view it is, objective to me has always needed to have a disadvantage, right? Like there's always needed to be a cost for, being the person that has objective, right? Like in Halo 3, when you have the oddball and Guardian, like you have to not only get the time, but know when you need to drop that objective to start getting damage out because you're at the disadvantage of holding it, right? To me,
and inversely, it slows you down.
Exactly, and you're slower. You're more, you're more at risk.
You can't shoot your gun.
I wasn't so much stressing about seeing the flag guy sprinting as I was happy to see that it wasn't flagging them again. Like he doesn't have an unlimited ammo pistol to now be just as effective in a fight as everybody else, which was one of the things I thought was kind of. I wasn't a huge fan of that in Halo 5 to see, you have the flag, but guess what? You can still thrust, you can still shoot. Not only that, your gun has infinite ammo now, so you can post up in the window and like put shots across your team. Like there's always has to be a cost. And so to see it go back to traditional, no, you have two hands on the flag, you're not shooting while you're running it. So maybe I can accept sprint then if it's balanced, right? Like if it's short bursts, he can go here or there. But just to see that it's back to traditional, like, hey, if you're grabbing the flag, you're not shooting at the same time is nice. Also, side note, check out this Halo Reach helmet right here. So like more Halo Reach comparisons.
Nice.
Homeboy's chalk just chilling there, on the side.
Yeah. No, that's a great point though. Everything you said about the flag and the pistol in Halo 5, I couldn't agree more on that.
This part's pretty funny with the oddball, how he just yeets this guy right here across the room. Just bam.
Oh my god.
But that's a little bit back to the note earlier. Like that guy is yellow. Like
Yeah,
that is pretty
honestly, now that you
yellow,
said
dude.
it, I'm seeing it. Yeah, I'm noticing a lot more.
Like he's pretty much glowing the entire way across as he's flying. It's a little interesting there. And even after he's dead, he's still glowing yellow. Like it almost looks like he has shield still. So a little interesting there. I'm interested to see how, a lot of this stuff can change before now and when the game comes out. I'm interested to see how the shields work. And once again, like that was a one-hit kill. So in situations where someone is killed, maybe the yellow explosion is just over the top. But that's just a note that I had earlier on. This play is pretty funny. I'm sure a lot of people, I didn't notice or realize what happened until I slowed this down, Faisal, but this guy's trying to kill this guy, obviously. He throws down the portable shield, another piece of equipment. Obviously, that'd be a one-time use because he just threw it away. As he throws it, his teammate comes to help him with rockets, but because he threw the shield up, he blows up his teammate with the rocket launcher instead.
Snap.
So that's a funny little way that plays out. I can just see the troll moments, right? He's like, I'm coming to help you, bro. Oh, shoot. Sorry, man.
Yeah. Yeah. More of that grapple.
The fusion coils. What do you think of this armor, bro? Twitter was losing it over this armor, bro.
The samurai armor is dope. And obviously, it being free to play, free to unlock, that's another big thing we didn't touch on yet. But is the fact that the multiplayer is going to be free to play is so big for Halo, so big for our community, so big for streamers, content creators, just everyone that is a fan of Halo. And something like this you can unlock with no cost out of your pocket, I think is what they were saying. So very, very cool. And that aesthetically just looks
like
awesome.
The dust and the rust, it looks like this armor's like 600 years old, it just so sick looking. Little Tonto action there, little short katana. Love that. Here's the CE moment. Here's a classic Halo moment. Throws the plasma to the sword. I do want to point this. Yeah, I got to point this out, Faisal. I love to see the pistol return to like a sidearm. I think Halo 5's pistol was obviously closer to CE in terms of damage, but check this out in slow motion. I noticed this. Right there, he shoots him in the head. Doesn't kill him. Not until the second shot to the head does he kill him.
So how many shots was that? Go back.
So if we go slow, I'm going to go really slow on this. I'm going to go all the way down to 0.25. So 1, 2, 3, headshot in order to take that guy down. So that leads me to believe.
Shot him.
Yeah, while the guy was no shields. So that leads me to believe pistols back to sidearm world, which I'm good with
point.
that.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have primaries and sidearms and have them all have their role. So and this is closer to like the Halo 2 pistol, which was crazy weak. But he gets his headshot, and then the plasma grenade launches the sword through the air. Classic play. That guy gets blasted by the shotty, and here he comes with the sword. Love that, dude. So sick.
With that awesome armor there too. That's such a cool scene.
Yeah, that's a classic Halo moment and something that you would totally see happen. So, and then it says right there on the bottom, free to play.
Free to play.
Yeah, man, that was the first thing they put out. Faisal, when you first saw this video pop up on Sunday, what were your thoughts, man?
I was to the moon excited. I'm pretty sure I was just going on rants on my Twitter feed, just like making random just numbers and letters next to each other and tweeting them because I was so hyped up. It's been a long time coming. The community is hungry, and I think this was a great amount of content to get kind of the pot stirring in the community and to get everyone excited. And I saw a lot of the big time names in the gaming world tweet about Halo, and Halo was
Clayster, Summit, all these people like,
yeah,
dude, looks
Courage,
sick.
everyone was tweeting. A lot of people were tweeting about Halo, and it was trending on Twitter. And I just think it was a big moment for Halo moving forward. And for me specifically, I was extremely excited. Everything looked very appealing to me.
Yeah, I think it was a huge. I'm just gonna let the second video kind of run while we're chatting about it, but I thought it was a huge upgrade from what we saw last year. It was nice to see Halo trending in a good direction. So much of the engagement on Twitter was positive. I mean, I would see a couple bad apples here and there, but that's always been the case. But compared to last year, where everyone was kind of like, "Whoa, we waited this long for that," it looked great. Oh, right off the rip, though, I do gotta go back to that. There's your BR
You can
reticle.
full screen this if you want.
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the 343, the new logo
Oh
as
yeah.
well. But I'm gonna kind of skip through this one a little bit. But there's your original BR reticle. There it is.
There it is.
OG. So you're saying you like this one more than the other one that's kind of more of the cross, is what you're saying?
Definitely.
Okay.
I like that little circle outline, It just looks like more of a classic Halo BR reticle.
Yeah. I mean, I love this BR, dude. The old school Halo 2 BR design. The flag glowing on it. I mean, it just looks good, man.
It does look really good.
Here's the blue outline since he's a teammate, you can kind of see it around him. One of the things that's interesting, and we don't really see a lot of like full HUD. We only see the full HUD one time. So this means, Faisal, that like, traditionally in Halo, when you're in a team fight or when you're looking around the map, you would look for your players' kind of icons to see what they're doing. Now you can straight up kind of see what your teammate is doing through walls, like if he's jumping or attacking or meleeing. Do you think that will adjust the way, people kind of view their matches when they're playing? Or do you think it's kind of like, just another version of seeing your teammates where they're at and what they're doing?
Yeah, I think it could add some intricacies, right? So, like, to your point, a service tag or something like that will always indicate where your teammates are in older Halos, but having outlines, and is that confirmed? Like, where?
Yeah, it'll show it later. It'll show it later where they're, he watches his teammates kind of running around through some walls.
Yeah. No, I think, sure. I think that'll add some more intricacy to it as far as predicting where your teammates are and making coordinated plays. But it's Halo's always kind of had that, so it's not too new of a feature in terms of knowing where your teammates are on the map. They just kind of took it a step further.
Yeah. I saw Elamite stream earlier. This was pretty funny. He pointed out how this guy's holding the rocket launcher. He's like holding it with one hand, leaning over. It just looks funny. Pretty epic. That guy's jacked, dude. Look at how this guy on the Warthog, if I can find it again. His body is facing backwards.
Oh yeah, and he's turning over his shoulder and shooting a rocket
with a rocket with one hand.
Oh my god!
I thought that was funny.
That is pretty funny.
Man. Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to obviously have some new Halo to look forward to. New maps to learn, new meta to figure out. Love the plays potential for the grapple. Takes this guy down. I'm gonna actually let this. Here we go. So here's one of those things, Faisal. So you can see here. There's a teammate.
Yeah.
He can see.
No, I like that. I actually really like that.
So he can see what his teammates are kind of doing. Like he sees this guy sprinting here, this guy sprinting here. Like I don't mind that at all. I think that's cool. I think it adds another layer. Like, I'm one of those players where before I make a play, depending on what my teammates are calming, like I might stop and look to see where their icons are to make sure I'm timing things with them. This takes that to another level, right? You can see if your teammate's kind of lurking, if he's running, if he's going in. So it's cool. I think it's a cool little feature. I just noticed something new. I don't know how big this is, but when he kills this guy, it says pick up spike grenades. So I guess you're gonna have to choose to pick up the grenades now. Or maybe that's just because he already has grenades slots full and he needs to switch them out. I don't know, but
I'd imagine that's the case because I
I've never seen that before. Yeah, I've never seen pick up a grenade as an option.
No, but to your point, in other Halos, if you have, say, plasma grenades and you're walking over spike grenades, then it'll ask you to pick up spike grenades, right? Even in any Halo.
I don't think so. I think in Halo 3 you could just have them all, couldn't you? Didn't you have 2 of each and you could have all 4 of them? You could have the fire grenade, the spike grenade, the plasma, and the frag, but only 2 of each. Someone in the comments let us know. Are we tripping? Are we right? Are we wrong? I have no idea, but interesting to see that pick up spike grenade. So many cool moments. I do want to get to where we actually see the HUD, but this is cool here. You can see the red outline. I also noticed, so a lot of people have been talking about, I've been on the same train of like, man, it's a T-rated game now. There's not really all that much blood. there's not blood that like lands on the map, but there's way more blood now. Like when people are actually getting shot. Like I was playing Halo 3 earlier, and you don't see blood coming out of people like this when you're shooting them. That guy is getting blasted. And then over here,
right there.
and then up top, look at how much blood comes out of this guy. I'll put it in slow motion as he's getting AR'd. I thought that it's cool feedback to see that. Like, so here, look at all the blood that's coming out of this guy.
Yeah,
as he's shooting him, you know what
definitely.
I mean? There's definitely a lot of it while the person is alive. It just doesn't splatter on the walls and stuff. So it's a trade-off, you know, whatever. Looks cool. Really, really cool content. This is it. This is it right here. So this is the only time you actually get to see in these videos the new HUD. So here's the new HUD, Faisal. You have your weapon and ammo here on the bottom right, which is, it used to be top right, so it's bottom right now. You have your score, bottom middle.
Yeah.
Centered score. You obviously have your radar, and then, you know, shields up top. That's pretty neat. That's pretty normal. I do like how minimal everything is. Like, nothing is really huge on the HUD. It looks like you're seeing a lot more of the game than you are the HUD icons. What are your thoughts kind of on the redesigned HUD?
I think it's simple and it's very clean, right? To your point, it allows you to view more of the game and not be distracted by excessive things. That was one of my concerns, I guess, or one of my, something I was looking at closely was the HUD and if it would be cluttered or if, they're trying to force, new perks or trying to push different, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess perks. But it looks like they're keeping it very, very simple, very clean. And
yeah, they went in the opposite direction, right? Of like what you were worried about. It's way more minimal, it seems like.
Yeah, I like that.
Game just looks great, man. I mean, the graphics and everything look awesome. Really looking forward to playing this on PC, So, but yeah, I mean, to T Squared's point earlier, saying the maps look kind of bland. I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. I mean, even this map that's kind of gray. Look at the elements. There's rain coming through the roof. There's like this generator thing that's like spinning blue throughout, and that's happening over here as well. There's some cool color sprinkled in. We have red, blue, yellow, the gray as well.
It does look like they are going for that rustic look on everything, though. Whether it's armor, your
it's
gun,
all beat down.
Yeah, it's very rustic,
worn, right? It's very
worn,
very weathered looking. So that's interesting for sure.
I wish they showed like an Insta or something.
Oh, dude. I don't know, man. I'm kind of glad that that they did away with Instas, because I mean, at this point in Halo 3, the meta, like, Instas are just over the top, right? It's like, oh, I do want to point something out here, because we just got to see kill feed, and this is another thing that's people are talking about here. He takes him out. You see the kill feed here, super minimal. He gets his kills. No medals, Faisal. No double kill, medal. It's just kills, boom. So interesting to see. I'm not sure. I mean, this is all like theater mode because there's not like the rest of the HUD isn't there. So I'm not sure if it's just like certain things are turned off or whatever. But yeah, I do really like the red outlines, man. To be able to distinguish the friend from foe and be able to rock your armor. There it is. That's the repulsor. He uses it right there to boost himself up. That same equipment from earlier, boom, boosts himself up. And
that repulsor is going to lead to some amazing plays.
But even here, like, he kills them all. It says Rhino earned an overkill, but there's no medal.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh no! I mean, I've always obviously been. I think that's a big part of Halo.
Yeah, medals
you love
huge.
Seeing that.
Yeah.
They were
that's
talking
another
about this.
Big thing. Yeah, go ahead, Faisal.
Another big thing is another talking point that has come about because of this preview or these trailers and these overviews is the fact that, as you saw right there in that clip, you will be able to pick up the power up, right? So the overshield or the camouflage, and decide when you use it. So it's not like every other Halo where you've had to, even in Halo 5, you'd pick it up and you click it instantly into your Spartan. It seems like with this, it's up to the user.
It's in your inventory, you hold it. Yeah,
it's your inventory. So 49.49, you pop a camo, you make a play, right? 49.49, you pop an overshield, you make a push. Again, people don't like change. So I'm generally speaking, going off of some of the pros and community people that I'm reading their views on it, they're tentative on it. They're not really, they have questions about it and they seem a little bit scared. I can see why, because Halo's never done that. But I think it's important to push boundaries. I think it's important to change things up to an extent. I don't know.
Where are you at, dude? Come on. Where are you at on it? Like, I don't want to hear about all your friends. Where is Faisal, if Faisal's playing this game, land on? Are you down for this or not so much?
No, I think you should have to pick it up right away. Otherwise, it becomes a little bit too overpowered. I don't know. I liked the classic style of having to pick it up. Or having to use it as soon as you pick it up. Right now, I remember seeing some statements on Twitter, or questions, I guess, on Twitter as well for, is the timer going to start from when you pick it up for the next camo? Is it going to start from when you activate it? And if so, does that give the overwhelming advantage to the team that has it?
Can you get multiple, right?
Can you get multiple? So a lot of questions are coming from that. So without having all the answers, it's hard to say. I mean, I can't say I'm not going to like it. I've never, how can I say that? I do know that I've liked the way it's been done. What are your thoughts on it? It sounds like you have a very definitive opinion on it.
My opinion, I mean, there was nothing wrong with how it was before, right? But different doesn't always have to mean bad. So,
yeah, that's my thought process towards everything I'm seeing, and that's how I've historically been with Halo. Whether the Halo turned out to be good or bad in people's eyes, I've naturally am optimistic towards these kinds of things. So I'm not forcing it. I genuinely feel that way. I know maybe some people see me on Twitter and or see the way I react to this content or news and think I'm just saying it for the sake. I genuinely feel excited and optimistic about these kinds of things. Until it gives me a reason to dislike it, I'm going to be optimistic for it.
And I think, like, I don't know, it just adds layers to things. I think you would probably agree with me where Halo at the highest level is an information game, what you know versus what you don't know. And it could lead to some cool outplays of, like, trying to figure out which guy got the overshield. Has he used it yet? Did you see him burn it? Like, is overshield in play? Do we need to team shot this guy versus that guy? And also, two rotations, like if the overshield's on one side of the map, and the sniper or the rockets are on the other side of the map, what are you prioritizing? How are you gonna, when's the right time? Also, too, like, this is not just overshields. Camos like this as well, right? So it's like, do I want to pop the camo right away? Do I want to save it for the long play? Is there a weapon coming up a minute later? I think, like, the timers are gonna matter, because it's like, if camo's coming up and different weapons are coming up later, it could be cool to hold it, right? To be like, I'm going to save this camo for when I have a sniper, but there's a risk there. Like, if someone kills you, they take it for themselves. They can use it against you, right? It's like huge risk reward. So I don't know. I think it could leave room for some really cool moments. It could also be a really terrible snowball. Like, who knows? It's going to depend on how it's implemented. Timers, things like that are all going to be important. But I'm going into it with an open mind. Like I said, different doesn't always have to mean bad. And so I think we need to definitely move away from that mentality. Because even right here in the video, we see, I think we may have already passed it. We see him make him, no, it's coming up where he makes a guy burn the guy's about to use the overshield, doesn't activate it quite away. He clutches up and then he gets it for himself, which is pretty cool. So because it takes a while to activate it. Yep. So coming up here in a second, he's going to get into a hallway and he's going to fight that guy. And right here, he kills him before he can use it. See? And then he grabs it for himself. See, so it's like there's room there, and then you see him use it. It's about a 2-second activation. Oh, dude, so you have to know. Yeah, you have to know. Like, if you're getting team shotted, you're dead. Like, you're not gonna be able to get that off. So you kind of have to play it smart. You start
playing the overshield. Like, I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna play it or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the fact that it's not just like, I think the fact that someone can steal it from you makes it that much more valuable, right? The fact that you don't want the other team to get it, it becomes like a power weapon, So pretty cool. I think there's a lot of cool. Potential for outplays there. They talked about BTB and all this other stuff. So cool to just see Halo Infinite, right? The fact that it like exists.
So yeah, it is very cool.
I was looking in the background. I was like, "Where's Wes?" I was just like looking at. Seeing the guy grapple him, and then, dude, that's just. There's gonna be some crazy moments. You think the montaging community is crazy now. The clips and stuff that these guys are coming up with. It's gonna be super epic with this. I want to skim through here. They talked about your AI companion, how you can change your announcer, which is cool. They're gonna have the main game announcer, and then you have like your personal AI that tells you other stuff. Like with the smaller details in the game, which I think is customization. Dude, Shurzy posted a video where he pretended to be the AI and what it would be like if he was your personal AI. And it's so good, dude. I was like, bro, that would be so funny if 343 started bringing in like community members as your AI companion. Like that would be next level, right? Some of these grassroots guys.
Definitely.
Real life Spartan is now my AI companion. Just yelling at me the whole time. Like that would be awesome, right? They go deep into customization.
Mhm.
How do you? I mean, are you big in aesthetics and stuff like that in terms of like in game and
Yeah,
whatnot?
of course.
Like, yeah,
I think you want your game to be aesthetically beautiful and aesthetically pleasing just for, the viewers, right? As a competitor, as someone who my lens is pretty much heavily through that competitor's perspective, and you want the people watching your game to enjoy the way it's looking. You don't want it to look like an outdated game, or
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
how Halo is kind of spicing things up and making adding these new touches and new elements and customizations and battle pass and chest plates and
permanent
shoulder
battle
plates
pass
and
too, right? Like that's a big deal. Like you don't lose
that's gonna
that.
keep bringing people back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
free again, I can't stress how awesome free to play is, and cross platform, PC, Xbox. Oh god, this is Justin's favorite weapon.
Well, I just noticed you pointed out that it was homing. I didn't notice that until now, but it is curving. Like the shot. The shots are curving through the air.
Yeah.
So sorry, I put it at 25% speed, so it might take a second to get there. But so right here when he shoots, you can see them moving towards him.
Yeah.
This has got to be a power weapon, bro. Then he one bursts him immediately after that. So I'm hoping that's a power weapon.
I
or
am
something.
noticing the no metal situation though.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Once you realize that there's like he didn't get a double there, it's kind of
That BR though, baby.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
And you obviously can't hear it because we don't have audio, but it sounds so huge too. And like seeing the blood as well, like there's just a lot of things. It seems
shots.
like, yeah,
Oh my God.
obviously, definitely nobody from the pro team in that clip. I would hope.
We hope not. No, so yeah, like I was saying, the battle pass concept is awesome and much needed, I think, for Halo. And also we have to talk about the fact that it's going to be the arcade mode. Is that what they called it?
The training.
The training arcade.
Yeah.
And you're going to get to go up against however many bots you set. So play against computer, other, just random bots, set their difficulty level and get a warm-up band or whatever you want to do.
Firing range too. Like if you want to try to like beat records, like there's all those guys that go for the crazy, like, oh, I cleared it in this much time, different records and things like that. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Shyway, I think, or it might have been Hoaxer posted that there's a movement course that you can like run through, like an obstacle course. So like you're gonna see people doing crazy, cracked out things to get the best time, and that'll become its own like community. And dude, that armor, sorry, it's so distracting, so good looking, but that'll become its own kind of scene in the game of people that are just doing like these trick runs and hitting the shooting range super fast and all that stuff. So that's really cool.
Yeah, another awesome kind of aspect of the Halo community is that there's so many different communities under one umbrella, right?
Oh yeah.
And yeah, to your point, it's just going to add to that.
This is the training area right here. They're introducing in this section. So there it is, fire training area. Clamber, we see it there. There's also the movement area. Someone pointed this out to me though. I do want to slow this down for a second. I think this maybe, I will full screen it so you can see it better. And I think that this is a training only feature, and you can even see it here where I paused it. When he's headshotting this bot, it's only his head that's lighting up. It's almost like the shields are separate in that.
Like it's showing you where you're hitting them.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a training only or if that's how it's going to be, where like the feedback you get, because prior to this, we see a lot of people just die in one shot. I'm wondering if you're going to be seeing more feedback on where exactly you're hitting your player as you're shooting them. So right here, as he's shooting him, I have it in super slow motion. You'll see it go head, and then it'll be body after. So it's head lighting up there, and then body here. See, it's like, and then back.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's going to be all around, or if that's just for training to kind of help you get an idea. So that's interesting. A lot of visual feedback. Maybe a little bit too much, like we were talking about with the shield flares and stuff, but I like that they're heading in that direction where everything feels satisfying to shoot. the weapons and to engage in that way. So lots of
man.
cool.
Honestly, the fact that we're seeing a brand new Halo. How many years has it been?
It's surreal.
How many years? Six long years, and now
it's surreal.
After 6 years, after a pandemic, after so much has happened in the world, we are finally able to talk about and discuss Halo Infinite gameplay and break it down and get hyped. And not to be too redundant or too repetitive, I should say, is shout out Unishek.
Oh, we love John.
Please leave your thoughts, what you liked about the trailer in the comments, what you disliked about some of the features you saw in the multiplayer overview, or any aspects of the trailer and the content they did the following day. Please let us know some of your thoughts. I'm interested to hear, like Wes was saying, his lens is different because he's reading them from a different perspective. Yeah. I'm right there with you guys. I want to kind of hear if you guys agree with some of the thoughts I'm giving you guys, if you guys disagree. So make sure to let us know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I wanted to point out here, I'm in agreement with you, Faisal. We want to be engaged with you guys in the conversation. Do want to point out here the map that we saw earlier they're running around is symmetrical. So stairs up, there's a bridge, pillars on both sides, power weapon on both sides. So, that arena, classic, true Halo gameplay is there. Don't panic. We're going to have some awesome asymmetrical maps as well as symmetrical maps to work with. I just can't wait to get in there and just run around, and getting like that feeling of the first week. You're figuring out the maps, figuring out where you want to be. And like, there's nothing like that, like the first time discovering all these cool things. I mean, look at like that. That's just a beautiful, map design, map layout. They talk about the flights. Faisal, we better be in those flights, man. I'm just saying right now.
Oh, way.
I'm signed up. I would imagine you're signed up.
Hell yeah.
If we get passed up somehow, I don't know, man.
Hey, honestly, another thing, I don't think they've announced definitively how much content or how much, information we'll be getting following all these announcements. But I would hope that we continue to get, different kinds of content with Infinite, and hopefully a beta. They give us something to get involved a little bit more with the game as a community moving forward before the launch. And another thing people were a little bit upset about is that they still didn't announce an official release date for the game. It started off as fall 2021. Now it's holidays 2021. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing that I'm sure everyone's going to be patiently waiting on, is a confirmed, mark it on my calendar. I'm taking this day off of work because Halo's coming out. I'm waiting.
There was a leaked Xbox Brazil tweet. The official Xbox Brazil Twitter tweeted November 9th, and they had to delete it right away. So I'm wondering if it was like,
when did this tweet happen?
Right after all this dropped, right after the trailer dropped on Sunday.
Really?
The official Xbox Brazil tweeted, "Hey, November 9th, be ready to play it." And then they had to backtrack and delete it right away. But the internet screenshotted that, and it was all over the place instantly. So I'm wondering if it was misinformation, or if that's like, November 9th. I mean,
there's no telling, because
you never know, right?
Yeah,
but
the fact that they deleted it, and but I'd imagine it's going to be around that time though, right? Sometime before. I'd imagine it's going to be before December. I'd like to think it would be before December. That way,
DreamHack Atlanta is November 12th, right? And they said they're going to be an Infinite event this year. Imagine, like 3 days after the release, you have your first Infinite. I don't know, man. That could be crazy, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Man. I'm just excited, man. I'm excited for new Halo tournaments. I'm excited for LAN. I'm excited to see everybody again. This is the end of the video here, Faisal. I'm going to slow it down so we can see all the last gameplay goodies. Let me know if you want me to stop it at any moment for something that you notice. We love John, so we can watch him in slow motion too. Such a good spot for the community manager. Obviously, some AR action there, some shots. Dude, the oddball looks so sick.
Sick.
And just how he keeps yeeting people out of his face and they just go flying is just awesome. The ghost skins. I love how everything is like more customizable, right? Everything is more unique. This right here is interesting. So he shotties this flag guy, but look at the bottom left of the screen here. Coming in there. That little power drain, comes rolling in and it's just shocking everyone around. I heard some people say it might be a shock grenade as well. Maybe I'll go back a little bit. Can I go back? Can I go back frame by frame? Yeah. But little nuggets, little details here. So if you look at the bottom left, it's going to come flying in and it's just shocking everyone around it. So I think that's a shock grenade. I thought it was a power drain, but I wasn't sure about that. Another piece of equipment there.
Yeah.
Here's that brute spike sniper thing again. That's just so strong.
God damn, that was like an arm shot.
Yeah, that guy's just gone. You know, like I said, it's a projectile, so maybe that's how they're trying to balance it. Like you have to lead potentially. Some good shots there. A little melee takedown. Pick up camo. That's the camo guy he just killed. And takes camo for himself. Sniper. Great to see the D-scope, obviously.
Yeah.
Lines up the no-scope. Later kid got on my face.
Later,
and then the last
kid.
clip of the last infinite clip we're going to see for now. Grapple action straight into the gravity hammer.
They should the hammer and the grapple a lot.
The gravity hammer is a theme in these videos, man. So yeah, Faisal, a lot to be excited about. I mean, there's so much more to go into, but I think, you know, we're an hour into this.
Really? It's been an hour already?
It's been an hour, dude. Just going over, 10 minutes worth of gameplay. Honest thoughts, Faisal. How you feeling? You feeling optimistic? You excited? Are you cautious? Are you critical? Are you a skeptic? Where is Faisal Khan at this moment?
Okay. Honest. I'm going to look at the camera. All right. This is my honest opinion. I'm extremely excited based off of what I've seen so far for Halo Infinite, that it's going to be an amazing game based off what I'm, tweets I'm reading from Tashi and just how big the streaming world is now. I think Halo is set up and primed for a big next however many years, and just based off of the gameplay and what we've seen today, it's still a very small, a compact amount of information that we've been given. But like I said at the beginning of the video, naturally I am optimistic about these kinds of things. I like to be excited about stuff. I like to be hopeful, and these videos and these overviews of the multiplayer have given me a lot of hope and excitement moving forward.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. I think it's funny. I think originally I was a little underwhelmed. I wouldn't say disappointed. On Sunday, I thought that all they were going to show us was that 2-minute thing. And I was like, wait, we waited this long for that? But then I read the blog, and then I saw this video come out and started noticing more of the details. And honestly, like, my excitement's just been growing. I'm still fingers crossed for Halo Battle Royale, even though you didn't show me nothing,
That would be...
I'm just like, come on,
amazing.
Man. That's a knockout punch. I don't know if they're saving it for the last thing, but, regardless, I think the game looks so much better than it did. It also gives me a lot of peace to know that, like, Wes is over there. I don't know if you talk about this or mention this, Faisal, but, like, Wes is such a pain in the ass in the best way possible, where, like, I think he's the perfect person to be leading that pro team. Like, there's not going to be any nonsense getting by his desk without him, like, throwing a fit about it, right? So having people like that speaking up and working over there gives me more confidence about what the final product will be like. But man, I think I speak for everyone. I'm just like, dude, I just want to play it, right? You can say everything you want from watching these videos, but you never know until you actually feel it in your hands, right? To finally put my mind at ease, to know that heavy aim is no longer in Halo, after Halo 5 brutalized me with that for so long. I mean, I can't wait to play it, man. So yeah, Faisal, why don't you go ahead and wrap us up, though, man?
Yeah, and speaking of Wes, like we said, obviously him being at the beginning of the episode, we're gonna find a really good balance of, having these kinds of shows where we're breaking down Halo Infinite content and giving our kind of outside thoughts on it, and in which Wes will understandably want to, tread cautiously in those conversations. But on other episodes, we will obviously have our normal show and the normal crew. So all that information will be told to you guys ahead of time via our Twitter and our social media on my X. So make sure to follow. All the information in the description below. We'll make sure to link our Twitter, our Twitch, and maybe we'll do, we need to get some games in again pretty soon, Justin. So maybe we'll dust off the Twitch channel for On My X as well. But until next week, again, every single week we have a new episode for you guys. So please continue to show support, continue to share the video, share the podcast, comment and like it and subscribe. It really helps us out. So until next week, this was On My X, episode number 46. Halo Infinite has officially been shown to the world, and pretty soon this year, we all will be playing it. So until next week, guys, On My X, we're out.
Take care.